Well, hello world. This is me Affe again. This time I'd like to share with you some stuff from Germany, right here, like the weather, which is excellent, by the way, and then some stuff in the German language, which I want to tell all those of you who understand German. So, first of all, yeah, I already mentioned it, the weather. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. Here, spring has come. It's 21 degrees outside here in Mannheim. Uh, the sun is out, no clouds. It's absolutely sunny and warm. It's fantastic. I'd actually be quite satisfied if the weather could stay like that for another week or so, which it seems it's going to be according to the weather forecast. Um, well, yeah. Uh, my colleagues and I were so funny and already filled up the swimming pool in the garden. Um, though sadly we haven't yet had the opportunity to actually go swimming because yeah, just the day after we put the pool up, it just started pouring with rain again. Yeah, the last couple of days it was rather sunny, but temperature wasn't as high as today, so yeah, not so lucky. But well, it's still spring. It's not summer already, so we could live with that. Yeah, another one. I had initially announced that I would be making videos on my thoughts concerning the Geneva Motor Show. Sadly, the Geneva Motor Show is already over. It closed its doors on last Sunday, March the 18th of 2012. Yeah, I actually wanted to say some things about BMW, which I which is a brand I actually like quite a bit. It's a very good looking cars for most of the lineup except two. That would be the 5 Series GT and the BMW X6. Yeah, what makes me so crazy about these things as a car guy is that they're both actually less cars than they are whales. Look, BMW is actually a sports car manufacturer. They build sporty mid-size vehicles like the 3 Series or the 5 Series, which are actually, yeah, good family sedans, but they can turn into sports cars once you unleash them on a mountain road, for instance. And the X6 and the 5 GT are just the exact opposite. I mean, the X6, for instance, it's a car that wants to combine every aspect of any car into one. Like, for instance, it's an SUV, an off-road vehicle, supposed to be going off-road vehicle. It's second, the coupe. Yeah, a coupe. It's once you've seen that car, you've actually going to be having troubles in making out what it actually wants to be. Then it is a 4-door or a 5-door. It's a kind of a hatchback, if you ask me. So it looks like 5 or 6 different cars pushed all into one, and that is what comes out of it. I mean, it looks like an accident. It's not nice looking at it, but you have to look at it all the time. Yeah, it just doesn't know what it wants to be, and that leads to that strange effect that the X6 is actually a car that from the front end looks like an off-road vehicle, from the side looks like like an accident, and from the rear looks like, oh well, I don't know exactly what. And so actually you'd expect it to be able to go off-road, but it doesn't. I mean, imagine it's an SUV that can go off-road. And another thing is that when you try to look out of the back, it can't look out because the rear window is just too small. It's just a hole, quite like this. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but it kind of feels like it. It doesn't have enough boot space. It only fits 4 people. Considering the size, that's just hilarious. It's ridiculous, actually. Yeah, but it's worse than the 5 GT. The 5 GT is better because for the simple fact that it's a bit more efficient in its use of room, of space. It has a lot more room for passengers, can seat 5 persons, and has a bit more luggage space, but it's still ugly as hell, and you still can't look out of the back. These days, we have cars for which we need cameras to know how we should reverse. Hello? It's crazy, really. It's crazy. I'm disappointed of that brand because they actually are able to make pretty good cars, pretty decent vehicles, and awesome sports sedans. Like for instance, the new model of the 5 Series got a new engine. It's called the M550D X-Drive, which means it's a diesel, but it's a 550, which means it's got near to 400 horsepower, and it's got X-Drive, which means it's got all-wheel drive. That's what BMW call that. And it's an M, which means it's kind of a performance vehicle. So the car puts out 381 brake horsepower. That is an awful lot for a diesel, isn't it? And it only consumes, let me know, let me look it up, 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers combined on the European cycle, or a bit less, I don't know exactly. But when I look at this, it actually comes to my mind that a company such as BMW would be actually pretty well off just continuing to build the perfect sports sedan, rather than try to appeal to just about any market demographic of which they think there could be some potential buyers out there who would potentially buy an X6 or a 5 Series GT. Who knows? I'm certainly not one of those in the demographic for an X6 or a 5 Series GT. I'd rather get the normal 5 Series or the 5 Series Touring, for that matter. Yeah. So I think that's all for my rant about BMW. So I think I'm going to switch to German, or I'm going to do it in another video. So yeah, stay tuned.